Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know, I've been gone. I started a whole channel because you guys said that you wanted one, and then I disappeared. So this video is a little bit of an explanation of where I disappeared to, why I disappeared, as well as the fact that I found out that this month is Endometriosis Awareness Month. So I started my channel, I don't know, November? Like October, November, I can't remember exactly, because my memory is trash. But I started that, and then shortly after, in November, I fell into this entire life that I didn't even know. So around, I don't know, I was gonna say a start date, but if I'm gonna be honest, this video is gonna be about my body and about my reproductive organs, so if that grosses you out, feel free to just like the video, watch a minute in, and then just click off if that doesn't interest you. But as the title of the video is, we're gonna be talking about my endometriosis journey. So I started early. I got a period when I was in 5th grade, so I was like 12. And ever since the beginning, I've had extremely painful cramps and stuff like that. So I got on birth control when I was in high school, not because I was, out here living in these streets, but because my periods has just gotten so bad that it was either start on birth control or I was literally telling the doctors, like, just take my uterus out. Like, I know I want all the babies possible, but like, just take it out because it hurts too bad. Like, I was maxed out on Advil. My doll was literally like, you thought that was gonna do something, and it did absolutely nothing. And so they started me on birth control, and that was pretty cool. It regulated my periods, because at one point, for all my people out there that have periods, at one point I was having 3 periods a month. Now, I know that everybody, for the most part, knows that you're only supposed to have 1, but having 3 is extremely wild. And it's not like I was having, like, little cute periods. Like, I was having, like, the cramping before and after. I was having, like, 2 7-day periods a month, and then 1 like 2 or 3 day period in the same like 30-day time span. It was absolutely ridiculous and just utterly disgusting. So I talked to my primary care doctor, and they decided, you know what, your mom did the same thing. We're gonna put you on birth control. So I've been on birth control since freshman year of high school. And so then once I got to college, I took a human sexuality class, and I started to go see a gynecologist. And I wanted to explore what my other options were, because I had stopped birth control for a little bit just because, like, it was so much work for me to have to remember to take a pill every day. Like, I just don't like having to do that. Especially not like, because like birth control is like really finicky and you have to take it at the same time. I just was very inconsistent as a young woman, just inconsistent as ever. So that's really what it was. And then we discussed all my options, and my doctor was like, listen, you're not out here in the streets. We're really just trying to manage your periods. So I think you stay on birth control because we don't want you to gain too much weight. We don't want you to X or Y or Z. So I would say probably around a year to a year and a half ago, I went back on a new birth control almost 2 years ago. And then a year to a year and a half ago, I started getting like cramps. So I was like, maybe this is the prescription. And she was just basically telling me, like, listen, we'll change your prescription. Like 3 months into my new birth control, we changed it. And she was like, maybe this will help. And so it worked for like 6 months. And then I started cramping again. And it wasn't that I was like having periods anymore. It was just that I was cramping. So then my doctor's like, because what I was doing, because I have the worst periods that exist on planet Earth. Like, cramping in my legs, like back cramps, just all the worst things that you could possibly have. I had them all. So I was doing a thing where I just continually took my birth control through the pack. Like, there's like, the placebo pills, didn't take them. I just would move on to the next pack and keep going like that. Until I started having really bad cramps, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Do we need to up my dosage? And she was like, you know what? Maybe we need to try to put you back on having 1 period a month. That way you're not having breakthrough bleeding and you're not cramping as much. Your body clearly just wants to have a period. So we did that. So that started probably the beginning of 2021 is when we decided, like, okay, you need to have a period every month instead of every other month or every 6 months or anything like that. So I kept doing that, and it kind of worked for a while until I was still having some breakthrough bleeding. I was still having cramps, and around August is when it picked up really, really, really bad. I had a period, and me and the guy I was dating literally thought I was gonna die. It's like I just couldn't breathe, everything was just terrible. And then I called my gynecologist. She's like, "Oh, it's okay, we'll get you done." So around the same time, I was on my plexus. I was taking all of the good stuff that I'm supposed to be taking for my body. I'm trying to start working out, but this is like just one thing that's just not working with me, with my body. So my gynecologist was like, "Hey, maybe we need to just give it more time of you giving yourself a period, X, Y, and Z," and we continued to wait. The longer we wait, the worse it got, and by the time November hit, it was crippling pain. Like, at the worst of it, my legs were going numb, my feet were going numb, I was having extreme back cramps, and that's when I knew that something really, really wrong had to be happening. It wasn't just the birth control, it wasn't just a period, something was not going right with my body, and I knew it. So I continued to talk to my mom. I took a couple of online tests. Please do not take an online test, you guys. I psyched myself out. I was like, that's it. I have PCOS. I'm never having children. I'm so sad about it. So I made an appointment with my gynecologist, and she basically was booked out, so I had to wait like 3 weeks. In the most excruciating pain of my life. Like, I maxed out on pain meds once again throughout the day. So the people in my life are starting to notice, like, I'm not doing good. I'm in a lot of pain, and I have a pretty high pain tolerance as far as like uterus stuff is. So I get to the doctor, and she's like, "Yeah, your uterus is definitely inflamed, so let's see what we can do about that." So she scheduled me for an ultrasound. And I told her, like, my legs are going numb, and she was like, "That's the pressure. Your uterus is definitely inflamed. Let's see what we can do about that." So we fast forward to around Christmas time, and right before Christmas, I had the worst day. Like, I'm in my bed crying because I really didn't think that, like, I could take any more pain. And I had my ultrasound the next morning, and I literally walked into my ultrasound with my umbrella as a cane because, like, I couldn't stand up straight. So me and my friend, we went to the doctor, and we ended up getting a narcotic prescription, which I hate narcotics, but I was in that much pain that, like, I didn't see another way out. So fast forward a week, they call me and are like, "Hey, your ultrasound came back normal," which means it's either one of two things, which was what I was told before we started. She said, "Your uterus is definitely inflamed, so either you have fibroids, which could mean PCOS in that route, or you could have endometriosis." And so in my head, I hear endometriosis. I don't really know what that is. I think it's like some scary, super over-the-top scary thing. And so I'm low-key banking on fibroids. I'm like, okay, if it's fibroids, I can have surgery, they'll be gone, this pain will end soon. Endometriosis, to me, sounded like something super duper scary and over the top. Before we talk about my diagnosis, I want to explain to you guys exactly as it was explained to me of what endometriosis is. Endometriosis is cells, and they live either inside of your uterus, or they can also live on the outside of your uterus, and they consider themselves to be tiny uteri. I don't know why this makes sense, but it does. They're little cells, and they think that they're their own uterus. So when I swell, they swell. When I bleed, they explode. Isn't that just so fun? No, not at all. It's extremely painful. So basically, my uterus was malfunctioning, and I knew it, but I didn't. My biggest thing is that I've always wanted to be a mommy. And so for me, anything going wrong with my uterus was terrifying. I had everybody praying for me. And I say everybody in a loose term because I was really afraid to talk about it. Because I knew something was wrong. I didn't know exactly what, and I also didn't want to scare anybody. I didn't want to scare anyone in my life, but I also knew that I needed some help. So I contacted, like, when I say everybody, I mean like super duper tiny little close circle. So if you didn't know, don't feel bad. Because I really wanted to be able to know for myself what was going on before I frightened anybody or brought anybody else into the inner circle of what's going on in Madison's body. So of my understanding, that's what endometriosis is, and the endometriosis cells thrive off of the female hormone estrogen. So once my ultrasound came back normal, my doctor was like, okay, the next course of action is to get you on some medication. because since it's not fibroids or PCOS or anything like that, the chances are everything you're experiencing is endometriosis. So they put me on Orlissa. Shout out to my girl Orlissa. And my doctor basically was like, we could do a whole bunch of like super invasive things to for sure know, but I would rather not cause any scar tissue or anything like that unless you start you on the meds. So I've been on Orlissa for 3 months, almost 4. And she was like, all of my clients that have endometriosis tell me like within the first month, you'll know if you have it and if it's making a difference. Now, huge difference, huge. But that's not to say there aren't some pitfalls. My memory, all the mamas out there in the world, I now understand what you guys are talking about with pregnancy brain. It is the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like whole sentences will just vanish, just disappear, just not even exist in my realm of thought anymore. Hot flashes, god awful. I don't even, god awful. And have you ever had a hot flash while trying to work out? I have convinced myself that must mean I'm burning extra calories because there has to be a reason. So those are the pitfalls really. My sleep schedule's now jacked up and I'm not convinced that that's from the meds, even though it could be. I'm convinced because of spring break and I just got off my sleep schedule. But as far as me, I'm doing a lot better now than I was, but I wanted to give you guys an update because I did say that I was gonna be posting, but like, I hope you guys understand, like in the amount of pain that I was posting, I knew that I couldn't come on here and be my happy, cheerful self and fake the funk. Like I didn't have it in me to fake the funk. Like when I tell you, I like couldn't even live a regular life. I couldn't. So I just wanted to put the word out there, especially because it's Endometriosis Awareness Month. I wanted to put the word out there for anybody that's struggling. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you don't know you have it and you know that something's off with your body, absolutely go get checked out because you never know until you absolutely know. But also like I'm trying to now process like when did this start? Because based on some of the the signs, like I could have had this since high school. I just genuinely don't know. And that's not to say that I don't have great doctors because I have amazing doctors, but I also think that I really had to learn how to advocate for myself as a client. What are those things called? Patient. See, I told you guys, words don't exist. So that's really pretty much it. I wanted to be open and transparent with you guys because you guys are my family. And I did say that I wanted to post at least once a month, or did I say twice a month? I don't remember. But that clearly didn't happen because here we are 5 months later and this is the second video on the channel. But I do have a whole bunch of fun stuff coming from you guys. But I just wanted to be transparent about what happened, why I wasn't here. And I know that there's a bunch of people in my life that don't know about this. And hey, welcome to it. Now you know. Because I don't know how to tell everybody. Like, it's kind of a weird thing to be like, oh, yeah, no, I disappeared and stopped answering text messages. And I just disappeared from life because, like, I thought I was dying. Like, that's dramatic as hell. But, like, for the people that were around, kind of seems a little accurate. Like, but as you can tell from me being here, I do feel a lot better. I have a lot of people that are on my team that are trying to make sure that I'm getting the best help necessary, but I did want to spread the word about endometriosis because for me, I thought it was like an older lady thing. Also, from what I'm being told, I'm still gonna probably be able to have children, which is great. But things like this are not talked about enough in the Black community and the young community, all of these things. I thought, like, that's old after you have kids or when you're older or whatever. Like, I could have had this from 15 and not known. So I just wanted to let you guys in on what's been happening with me. I miss you guys. Please let me know in the comments your feelings. If you have any family members that have endometriosis, let me know what videos you guys want to see on the channel because I really do want to start being more active because I have a little bit more free time on my hands now. And summer's coming up and I need to be a hot girl. Hello. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on all my socials that are in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye, guys.